Something massive has just shifted in the collective. Neptune, the planet of dreams, spirituality, illusion, collective unconscious, is just left Pisces, and it is entered into 0 degrees of Aries today, like maybe 10 minutes ago. So I am rushing to do this video to let you know that this is a 14-year cycle. Like, this cycle has just ended, the last 14 years. And that was crazy. We're going to talk a little bit about what Neptune and Aries means for us now, and a little history about the last time Neptune was in Aries in the 1800s. Hi, I'm Karina, your Healing Arts Astrologer, and I'm here to give you the Neptune and Aries report. If you are new to my channel and you enjoy this video, please subscribe to get more videos like it. Please like if you liked it, and please share this knowledge with someone who really needs it or maybe identifies with it. I do coaching, I do therapy, and I do astrology chart readings. I am a healing arts astrologer that hosts Paint and Sips at the local coffee shop here in Crockett, California. If you're interested in any of my events or anything like that, if you follow me on Instagram at lucid_living_coach, I post all my posters there and short content there. So thanks for joining. Let's get right in it. What is happening? This is the very first sign of the zodiac. And this hasn't happened since the 1800s. And the last time it did, it collided with war, spiritual awakenings, and the birth of a new sense of identity for us. So today we're talking about Neptune and Aries and what that really means historically, symbolically, and what this 14 degree is awakening in all of us. So Neptune entered its 14-year cycle, ending and beginning today, which is the 26th of January. And this is the spiritual warrior. You know, Neptune is kind of that planet of spirit and dreams, and it rules our unconscious and like what's happening beneath the surface. It's depth. It's the god of the sea. What is water? Water is emotion. Water is humanity. We're mostly made up of water. So identity for us is going to be huge. This could also be like messiahs and movements and martyrdoms. Like, Neptune blurs the truth because it is the planet of dreams, returning to oneness, spirit, releasing the unknown, unconditional acceptances in life, faith, illusion, sacrifice, and the collective unconscious. They say collective conscious too, but it's everything together that we are. And then we each have our unconscious, right? So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is a cardinal spring energy, and it wants to rush things forward. It doesn't even think about things. If you know an Aries, they tread new paths. They're very courageous. They don't give a F about like what the dangers might be. They don't really think about like the repercussions of their actions. And it's the first sign, so it's like it rules the baby. It's like the child, like it wants to, it just needs, it's just literally growing. Like, there's nothing much more that it needs than the energy and the nutrition to birth itself. This is about growing in self-awareness. This is confidence through asserting our will into the world. Balanced energy would be self-aware, assertive, initiating, daring, active, independent. The shadow aspects and the unbalance would be like selfish, aggressive, fearful, victimized, impatient, combative, overbearing, rash, reckless, and apprehensive. Now, what does this look like? The faith becomes personal. So spiritual identities become a battlefield. Belief motivates actions. And sometimes it could be reckless. So we want to be really mindful in the next 14 years to really be grounded in reality. And we're tuning into our body and what our body needs and how we are merging into one. Like we are dying to an old self in humanity and we're being rebirthed as something else. This is a very transformational process right now. The last transit in Neptune in Aries happened in April of 1861 to 1875. Neptune in Aries, how the past could, and what if the same energy is coming back now? Today, we're talking about Neptune entering Aries, a cycle that last happened between 1861 and 1875, and why this matters to you, your future, and the world that we're building. This is not a quiet energy. This is the spiritual ignition point. We are embodying our spiritual being. Like it is the spiritual warrior. What is Neptune in Aries? Let's break this down really simply. Neptune rules the belief, spirituality, dreams, illusion, ideals, faith, and what people are willing to sacrifice for. Aries is action, courage, war, identity, leadership. It is I am. So when Neptune moves into Aries, something big happens. People don't just believe things anymore. They act on them or they embody their beliefs. Beliefs turn into movement. Ideas turn into wars, revolution, art, leadership, and identity. So what happened last time during the 1800s when Neptune was in Aries? There was a lot of moral wars, like the Civil War, the American Civil War that broke out the second that Neptune entered into Aries. Also global conflicts, not just over land or politics, but moral ideologies. Freedom versus slavery, destiny, sacrifice, good versus evil. So these are going to be some of the things and language that we're going to be hearing throughout the next 14-year cycle. Germany and Italy unified through war. Nations stopped being loose groups and became strong identities. These wars weren't about money alone. They were framed as spiritual and moral battles. Freedom and movements. Russia abolished serfdom in 1861. The U.S. ended slavery with the 18th Amendment in 1865. People were literally fighting for who counts as humans. And that's Neptune and Aries. Belief, sacrifice, and action. Even Japan opened to the world. Like Japan ended centuries of isolation during the Meiji Restoration. They went from closed borders to modernization, industry, and global power. A total identity reset. Technology and connections explode, like of course AI and robotics, and I think this is a huge reason that we're going to have this war on our own identity, like who we are and our spirit. Like spirit becomes more focused on because AI can duplicate humans' minds, right? But they can't duplicate our spirit, our emotion, our soul's purpose, like why we're here. And we can focus more on spirit, more on our beliefs, and more on creation. The Transcontinental Railroad completed as well. The Suez Canal opened and the first successful telegraph cable. So the world suddenly felt smaller and faster, just like the internet did for us. And now we're going to be doing AI and robotics, spiritual exploration, and identity shift. So this era also saw a massive spiritual awakening. There was new religious and movements formed. People believed that the veil between the worlds were thin. Mysticism, prophecy, the chosen one narratives exploded. Faith, science clash after Darwinism's theory of evolution. And this is when identity became sacred. What you believed defined who you were, who you fought for, and who you're willing to die for. Martyrdom became romanticized and sacrifice became holy. And I think this could be coming about as well because of the whole like old identity where like who you were was like what you did for a living. And I think that a lot of us are, a lot of our jobs and careers are transforming because AI and robotics and everything is taking so many of our jobs that could be left to the hands of AI and robotics. And then we do something a lot more important, like use our intuition and be led by spirit and our soul's purpose. And what is it that we want to create in this world? Where before, a lot of people would be like, when you meet someone, you want to get to know them, you ask them, what do you do for a living? And I think that is an ending identity. It's not going to be like very important. I think what's important in our identities now will be like what we believe, what we create, and what we live for. So this is going to be an interesting transit. And, history doesn't have to always repeat itself. We could learn from it and we could evolve. And that's my hope as doing this work in the world, that I could help open someone's perspective onto seeing the world in a different way. Try not to hold on to your separation and how we're separate from humanity. We are all one. We're all on this earth in this big vast universe. We all bleed blood and we are all one. So we want to steer away from the narratives of separation and duality in that way of like different political, like opposite political, and like I'm against you and you're against me. I think that we should all contribute our ideas and our ideologies and try to work together, because everyone has different perspectives. And that's what opposition is in astrology, is you have opposition where I could see behind you, you could see behind me. And so I am trying to explain what is the thing that you can't see. And you're trying to explain to me what I can't see. And so that's where we work together instead of fighting about what we see, if that makes sense. So Neptune is back in Aries, and it just happened around 9:30 this morning when I'm recording this. And we're already kind of seeing some things, ideological wars instead of just resource wars. Good versus evil language will be everywhere. Extreme belief systems on all sides. People building identities around what they believe. And this next cycle is asking us, what do you believe enough to embody or act on? Because the last 14-year cycle was delusions, surrender, confusion, escapism, dissolving old systems, warped realities, and avoidances. But this next cycle is going to be different. Neptune in Aries is much different than Neptune in Pisces. If you believe in something, do something about it. No more spiritual bypassing. No more just talking about healing. Believe in yourself. The belief now requires movement. We are to create and go places in which we've never been before. The timeline is very important. This first 5 degrees of Neptune in Aries. This is the danger zone. This is where illusion could drive action. We might not be seeing things clearly. Acting without grounding first. Savior complexes, false leaders. This is where people get swept up fast. So just be really mindful. Then the middle degrees. This is where like the 6 degrees to I think like 21 degrees. This is the crusade phase. This is where movements arise, history gets written, leaders emerge, conflicts escalate, the belief becomes law, culture, and structure. And then the final degrees would be 21st degrees to 29th degrees. This is the burnout and reckoning phase. What's real survives, what's false collapses, delusionment clears fantasy, only embodied truths remain. The spiritual era, this part is huge. Just like last time, new spiritual modalities are being born. But this time, spirituality is moving into the body. We're embodying it. We're seeing like healing through arts, like myself, like paint and sips. Our next paint and sip is on Valentine's Day because Valentine's Day is February 14th and it lands on a Saturday. So we're going to be doing some love type painting with flowers, and it's going to be like 95 for couples. It'll include like champagne, chocolate covered strawberries, roses for my sister. She does floral, beautiful roses, and a love note. Singles, come on out. You can get all of that minus the roses and the love note. Of course, you'll get champagne, chocolate covered strawberries for $65. So come join us for the next paint and sip. I'm excited. So these modalities of healing will be coming up, like somatic and nervous system work, energetic practices, psychedelic assisted healing. I think it's going to be less alcohol and more body awareness. Like we're looking to heal from the last 14-year cycle. We've already seen that alcohol sales are down. So we're doing the work. We're becoming sober. And when our body is our temple, like it says in a lot of like religious texts, the body is our temple and we want to take care of our body. And this is what this Neptune Aries is going to be. We will embody our spirituality. We want to be satellites for higher divinity. We are going to be getting a lot of downloads, a lot of information, because that's what's going to set us apart from AI. Because AI can't channel. All AI's information is from the collective us. So we need to be feeding this AI, this information. We need to be feeding the AI our information so then it can create. So in something that we could actually make tangible. But we are going to be walking spirit beings. You live it, you embody it, and you become it. So what can we learn and how do we prepare for this? Here's how to work with this energy personally and collectively. Act on intuition, but definitely verify reality. Watch for martyr and savior patterns. Channel belief into creative leadership, not domination. Ground spirituality in the body. Choose courage without losing compassion. This is about embodied belief, not blind belief. So before, where like, have you ever noticed like religious people, they'll go to church on Sundays and they'll talk a big talk and they'll judge other people. But when it comes to closed doors, they're alcoholics or druggies or abusive or they're unequally yoked or whatever that they believe in. They're not embodying it. That's going to be different now. Like, it's going to be like an upside down world where the religion will be the self, will be embodying the belief. Like if you believe in sobriety, you will be sober. Like if you will understand the text, the religious text more. You'll embody it than regurgitating it to control. And you will have that. I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna probably see a lot of false leaderships, like false, like spiritual gurus and false this. So this is why we want to tune in to our intuition. Neptune in Aries is not subtle. It's not quiet, and it's not optional. This transit is shaping the next chapter of human consciousness. We're going to see new leadership and archetypes and the spiritual tone of the next century. The question isn't, what do you believe? The question is, what are you willing to embody? What are you willing to live? What are you willing to sacrifice to embody what you believe? Because this time belief demands action, where before you were just pretending. And this is a pretty monumental transit that we are experiencing today. So I will pull up this chart so you can see what it looks like today. So as you could see, here's Neptune. It's at 0 degrees Aries right here. And this just happened around 9:30 this morning on January 26th. And it will be here and for the next 14 years. So we're going to settle up, and then we're going to have Saturn entering in Aries next. And I'm going to make a video on the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. So stay tuned for that. That conjunction will be February 14th, I believe, on my paint and sip. So yeah, this is it. We're here. Do you see all these planets are in Aquarius? We're definitely moving towards a new future. So let me pull a card. I will pull one card for this Neptune in Aries. Neptune in Aries. The Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords reversed. My mind is a fertile field. Potential seed, fertile mind. Brain fog is slowing you down. One step at a time. Flowers don't grow overnight. Take your time cultivating clarity. Close your eyes and connect to your internal priorities to decide which external seeds are worth watering. Strategically plan how you'll achieve your new goals. This process can be rewarding in itself and will begin to nurture your seeds along the way. Analyze the specific steps that you can take that will bring you closer to your desired growth. Keep at it and steadily continue to refine your idea, and your flowers are sure to sprout. Engage in a crossword puzzle, a quiz, Sudoku, speed reading, or something similar to sharpen your wits. And that's all I have for you. I will see you on the next video. Thanks for joining. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and maybe leave a little fire emoji at the bottom for this new Aries cycle of Neptune. And I hope to see you on my next paint and sip. Peace out, your Lucid Living Coach, Karina.